Welcome back, friends. I'm Annabelle, and tonight we're going to read, and then chat about, That Time of Year Thou Mayst in Me Behold, by William Shakespeare. That time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bare ruined choirs, where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. The end.
If you call me old, I'm going to ban you.
Sonnet 73 is another one of Shakespeare's sonnets which is addressed to the fair youth. And there's a bit of, speculation as to who the fair youth was. But in general, it frequently asks the fair youth to just kind of love him. And Sonnet 73 is no exception. This one is kind of a perfect fall time poem though, because it starts off with that really, really great visualization of a tree that has lost all of its leaves. Or maybe there's a few still on there, but they're definitely yellow. And it used to have the birds on there and they were singing, but now it is a bare, ruined choir. There's no more birds. It's a bare, ruined choir, which is, I love that particular phrase. I can't even really fully explain why. It almost calls to mind what to me is one of the saddest images, which is, a funeral and then even the choir has left. But beyond the trees and the bare ruined choir, there are a lot of images of the thing kind of in its decline, moving toward death. You have the sunrise, which is now the sunset. The fire, which dies into the embers. And with the fire in particular, there's that really great image of being consumed, what it was nourished by. You have the tree, which we go back to the beginning where we talk about, the tree, which is now dead. We stuck that tree into the fire, and the fire consumes the wood of the tree. And now it is slowly dying because it's eaten all of the Fire doesn't eat, because now it's consumed all of the wood, so it is burning itself out over time, essentially. Previously, we read Sonnet 18, which I will link up there, and that's another one of those fair youth sonnets, which talks about, legacy and dying, and a lot of the times when he talks to the fair youth, there's this idea of eventually we're all gonna die, which is very romantic. I can see why the fair youth loves him so much, apparently. We read Sonnet 18, which is how do I compare these to a summer's day, like that one. And that one is all about the legacy, like what you're gonna leave behind, committing your beauty to memory in terms of verse. Like if we write about you, then you get to live forever. And this one is almost the exact opposite. This one talks about how yes, we're dying. Everything is slowly dying. Not at all depressing. But this one kind of goes into the idea that it's because all of these emotions and all of these people that we love are fleeting, that they're more worth loving. It almost seems like he's coming to terms with the idea that we're all gonna die and leave behind nothingness. It also kind of reminds me of Ozymandias, where we've built this huge statue to commemorate our greatness, but everything just goes away eventually. And it isn't just about stuff going away eventually, it's also about relishing each passing point of that too. By directly contrasting the, actual, literal, the tree that's growing out in the forest, and then it's slowly dying, and then as the tree dies, it goes into, we can turn it into fire, and then the fire can turn into warming embers, and eventually it turns into ash. And the poem itself commemorates each step of that journey as well. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, etc. I've always kind of felt that this is a really, really good fall poem, and I also just have always really liked the imagery, especially of that initial, the tree, that image itself, and especially how he kind of tosses out, or none, or few, kind of, that's always very much appealed to me, specifically. But let me know what you think down below in the comments, and while you're down there, you might as well subscribe so you don't miss another poem. See you guys next time.